Hi guys, it's Rod, and in today's video I'm going to take you through a method or a technique, whatever you like to call it, which will help you improve the results that you get from your Facebook ads. So the reason I'm talking about this is it's a technique that I learned about a while ago, and I was reminded about it when I was talking to my Facebook expert just recently. Now, this particular article on Facebook has been around since 2015, so it's not exactly new, but it did remind me that different creative combinations really help a lot when it comes to performance. And they're talking about something that is slightly different to what I'm going to explain to you, but it does give us some pretty amazing statistics here as to how much it's improved. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so as usual, if you enjoy this content, please go ahead, smash the like button, click subscribe. Don't worry about the notifications bell. It took me a while to think about what that actually was. Now you'll notice in this video, there's a lot more ums and ahs because I'm spending way less time editing. That way I can produce more content more often and more readily for you guys and help you out with doing better with Facebook ads. So I'm just going to jump over to the Ads Manager now, and I'm going to show you how you would put together a typical campaign using this multi-format method and show you how it works, and then we'll get on to showing you some actual real-life examples as well. So here we are in the Ads Manager. So I've created an example campaign already with an example ad set. Now, as far as the different types of ads go, this isn't all of them. So you've got image, you've got video ads, you've got slideshows, which a lot of people ignore slideshows. You can create slideshows within the Facebook Ads Manager very easily. We've got carousel ads, which are the multi-image format. As you can see, you've got different images there. And then I'll also mention story ads. I couldn't find an article on Facebook about story ads, but the last time I spoke to my Facebook expert, they mentioned that some of their clients were finding that they get about 25% better performance by having specifically formatted ads for story placements. So what that means is that you've got Facebook has Facebook stories, and you've got Instagram has Instagram stories, and they use the tall format. So you can see here this particular video, it's a 1920 by a 1080 format. And my expert was saying that their clients have been finding that the tall format videos on the story placements were getting a lot better performance than the standard, box format or widescreen format. And we've been testing that with a few clients now for a while, and I'm still on the fence now as to whether it actually produces much better results or noticeably better results than the standard square or the widescreen format, but we're going to keep on testing that. So these are the different formats. Typically what you might do is inside an ad set, you might have, say, an image ad, and you can see here that the text, the headline, the description, etc. is pretty standard. I've just used some images here from Unsplash to show you how this looks. That's how it looks on the story format. That's how it looks on the feed format. I'll just expand that out. So that's one particular format. That's how it looks in mobile, and then in desktop. And then by keeping the copy and the creative basically the same, I'm just taking that and then turning it into other ad types. So we've got a carousel ad, which has several images in it. And then we've got our slideshow ad, which is really just a video that you can create within the Facebook Ads Manager by uploading a few different images, and then you can add some titling to it as well, which does surprisingly well. And then a straight out video ad, which is a video that you've uploaded. And then finally the story ad. So what do you do once you've uploaded all the different ad formats within your ad set? How do you actually manage and optimize that? Well, firstly, you always let things at least run for a week. And this is very budget dependent. So even with our clients that are running with, say, $1,000 a day budgets, I always leave ads after I've adjusted them for a week. And I typically only do adjustments on the same day of the week so that you're allowing a lot of data to get through, because Facebook's just a big computer. It's an algorithm. So the more data it has, the better results it's going to produce for you. Now, if you've got a very, very small budget, now by that I mean, say, something less than $50 a day, you might not want to use quite so many ads. I think a good rule of thumb for me is factor in, say, $15 per ad. And so if you're only spending, say, $30 a day, well, that's just 2 ads. So that might be, say, an image ad and a video ad. So once you've been running your ads for at least a week, then you can come back and have a look at the performance. So if you're finding that one particular format is really outperforming another, let's say your image ad is 40% better than your video ad, or your carousel ad is 35% better than your video, something like that, well, then you might want to leave the lower performing ads off and then keep the higher performing ads running. Now, if there isn't that much of a difference, let's say something like 20-25%, then I'd recommend that you leave the ads all running. Now, the reason for that is because different people respond to different ad formats. And sometimes what I've found is if I have, say, 3 different ads and I've got one that's performing, like, say, 25% better than the others, I turn off the other 2, and then the overall ad performance on the ad set starts to come down a bit. So sometimes it's better to actually leave them running if there isn't that much of a difference, just to cater for that fact that different people like different ad formats. They respond to different images. Some people just want to see an image. Some people will sit and watch a video. Some people might like to flick through a carousel. It's just to cater to different people. So just to recap there, if your performance difference between your different ads is more than, say, 40%, maybe 35%, then you might consider just leaving the highest performing ad running. Or if you've got 2 ads that are very similar performance and they're the standouts, leave those 2 running and turn off the others. If there's not much of a difference, then I would let them continue to run, and you may find that the different combinations of ad types altogether produce a better result than just the one ad type on its own. Now, I did mention budget. So once again, if you've got a small budget, don't run a whole stack of ads. Rule of thumb, $15 per ad. That will serve you better. You'll get more data going through, better make some better decisions with your advertising, which ads to keep and which ads to turn off. Now I'll show you inside some actual ad accounts, give you some examples of where we've seen some really big performance in different ad format types and where I've turned off ads or left others running together, just so you can get an idea of how to practically implement this kind of strategy. So inside an ad account here, and you can see we've been running different formats over time, a video, image, a couple of different images, slideshow. I forgot to mention that if you do sort of narrow down your ad format to, let's say, image ads, for example, well, don't just stop there. Then iterate on the creative that's in the image and see if you can get better results from a different image than the one you've already been running. That's just part of an ongoing improvement process. So as you can see, we're left with this particular image here, which has been producing a cost per purchase of $17.21. And, you know, there was another image here, which was actually the one that we were originally running, and then we introduced a new image and it got better results. But the other image didn't do so well. And we had a video there. There was enough of a difference there for me to say, okay, well, let's just run the image only for that particular ad set. Now, this one is an example where we're just running an ad set that has story placements only. So you can restrict your placements just down to stories, and the ad format is suited just to stories only. And then we're pitting that against the original ad set, which was running with the one standard ad format in the 1-to-1 or box size, just to see whether we get better performance. And so far, there's not very much difference between them, but there isn't certainly not a better result coming from the stories only format. So we're going to keep on testing that and seeing if we do get better results over time. But at the moment, we've been running this story format ad set for a couple of weeks now, and not much of a difference between them. And one final example, this one is quite interesting. So this is a campaign for a client who has a bricks and mortar homeware store. And we're generating leads for their mailing list. And we've been finding, we were testing 2 different, just really simple ads that had a color block in them. And we see here we're getting about sort of $1.20, $1.25 per sign-up. And we changed that to a different image. And then we found that the cost per result has been much improved. So this is an example where if you are running one particular ad type and it's been going well, don't just stop there. Introduce another ad of the same type, but just change up the creative and see if you can get better results from it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please go ahead, hit the like button, click subscribe, add in a comment if you've got any other questions. I'll try to get to the comments as much as I possibly can. And just a reminder, if you missed this at the beginning, my agency is a specialist Facebook and Instagram advertising agency. We help businesses grow by finding them good quality leads and improving their sales with our Facebook and Instagram advertising campaigns. If you are wanting to get into Facebook and Instagram advertising, or you're wanting to improve the results that you already get, we'd love to have a chat with you. There'll be a link in the description below this video where you can click and you can go through, pick a time in the calendar and have a chat with either myself or one of my team about what you're doing at the moment, and we can talk about whether we might be a good fit for each other and how the pricing and how it all works, etc. And finally, I just want to let you know about a brand new piece of content that I've just released, which is a 5-part ad template for Facebook and Instagram ads. There'll be a link to this below the video. If you just click that link or just grab your email address, it's the only thing you're going to have to give up for that. And it's a comprehensive template that takes you through a few different formats of ads and just explains the method that we use to create high performance ads for our clients. And I think you'll find that very, very useful. So definitely get onto that. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video.